Yeah, so all right. Yeah, I erased a bunch of things that I had recorded. I thought about what I was seeing. I thought about it all day today. I thought about the last video that I filmed, and I don't know, some of the other stuff that I had said, I didn't mind too much. And I'm talking a lot now, even though I'm talking a lot now because I'm so pissed off people are acting like I don't have the right to talk. Whether or not that's good for me, I don't know. But who the fuck says I don't have the right to talk at my own phone? I'm only going to say this 1,000 more times, right? But I feel like, all right. But today, for some reason in particular, I was like, I felt really bad. And I went through this whole like song and dance in my head. And I realized, I think that I have actually changed, at least over the past 10 years, which is a good thing. I've changed in one way, which is that I was going through my head like, Tom Holland, Emma Watson, Tom Holland, Emma Watson, Tom Holland. I'm just like, and every time that my brain would kind of want to go in the direction of like, what could I do to influence the outcome of even the possibility that these two could get together, it was like a kind of short circuited. And I was like, I feel shitty. I don't want to think about this. I feel shitty. And I realized I was kind of having an anxiety attack more about acting like I was thinking along the lines of trying to control people's lives rather than having the kind of anxiety attack I might have had 10 years ago or 5 years ago to be like, what about not being able to control people's lives. It's just like, and it doesn't mean that I can't look at the whole situation and be like, wow, the double standards of this. It's just so clear. It's just clearer and clearer all the fucking time. It is one thing, and that's money. The entire goddamn thing has been about money from the very beginning. I wish I had understood that sooner. I could have saved myself a lot of grief. But it's just so, and it still remains so difficult for me to believe that there are people who do not have a value system, who do not have truly do not have any kind of value system, or they have a value system that revolves around an axis that is only about privilege. I just can't even, I would sit there, even though I knew from the very beginning that all of this was really crazy, I was like, it's still, would look at my behavior and what if did I say this or I did that or what about this and trying to explain. And it's like, no, and finally, it's just gone on for so fucking long and it's so fucking insane and it's so goddamn hypocritical that I'm like, and I realized, no, it's just money. It's money from people who do not think of themselves as being materialistic because they have no perspective about themselves. And I may still talk about it. It's just this crazy shit over the past like week or 2 weeks or whatever. People that seem to actually be trying to push Emma Watson and Tom Holland together. And I'm like, I feel like, while everyone is still slut shaming and victim blaming me, and I know that if there was some I would imagine if there were the opportunity for her to have this, she would just trade right up immediately. Whoever she's dating now, if she's been 2 years or 5 years, perhaps it's uncharitable for me to say. But in this bullshit thing she just filmed with Prada, it's full of all kinds of shit about me. I don't even really pay attention to her. the extent to which I have not paid attention to this woman is like cannot be overstated for like however fucking long it's been. I was just like, okay, well, I just do not pay any more attention to her, and she's still fucking with me. She's still fucking with me. Like I looked her up the other day, being like, well, maybe she has changed. Maybe there's been some kind of change. No, there's been no fucking change. She can't, I suppose perhaps some of it has to do with criminals who cannot fucking stay away from the scene of their own crime. They just have to continue to act like, and I guess I could talk about it today. I could take some pictures, I could take some screenshots, of this latest bullshit campaign with Prada. Yes, here's your women's rights advocate who works with the fucking UN. Here are the symbols that everyone should be recognizing by now about the voyeurism and all this other bullshit right here with another fashion house, just like I've been saying. But I kind of don't feel like dealing with any more of it today. I just kind of don't feel like dealing with any more of it today. And I feel like, and the idea that I just keep getting exploited, I just keep getting abused, I just keep getting slut shamed and victim blamed and all this other shit. And I'll sit here and worry about things. I'll be like, and I'll talk about how much I worry about things. Like, what would be the ethics of this? And what would it mean to do that? Would this be wrong? Would this be, and not only Does nobody care about that? It's like I've been blamed every fucking time from all of these guys, you know, who show up and don't do any of that kind of thinking. They don't really do any of that kind of thinking. They take no responsibility, they take no action. And then I'm sitting there, I'm worrying, and I'm thinking about things, and finally they're just like, wow, you know, and then they act like I manipulated them instead of I just got to the conclusion like this. There's nothing. This would not work out. But I'll sit here and worry about it till I'm done thinking about it, and then that'll be that, right? And now I have stopped moving on to the next, like whoever the fuck the next person would be, and I'm sitting here like, well, I don't know where to go from here. I don't want to go through any more of this. I do not know what to do next. I don't know how to get out of it, but I'm not going to go out with another celebrity, virtually or not in any way whatsoever. I fucking had it with all this bullshit. I just don't really know what to do next. And somehow that's still a fucking issue for everybody, right? While there's been this like, you know, thing going on where it's like are these two celebrity sex bots, right? Everybody wears the same things. Everybody goes the same places. Everyone thinks the same things, you know, and knows all the same people, does the same shit year after year, and it's this completely fucking closed off system. You know, and you've got your set designated victim that everybody just like shows up to take some shit out of, and it's like, oh, are we gonna get and everyone's blaming me for all their shit all the time, and it's like, okay, in the midst of continuing to fuck with me, are we gonna get these two celebrity sex bots together, right? Like, because it just barely even matters who's with who, really, as long as you feel like you're not, as long as you feel like you're moving up or you're moving laterally, you know. Oh, I slept with Zendaya. Oh, I slept with Emma Watson. Oh, this, oh that. And then I've been treated somehow as if it's, I mean, it's such a complete fucking lie that somehow I should be an object of envy. That really should be very obvious to people by now. To be just continuously abused by powerful people is not some kind of status symbol. It's just abuse. It's just abuse. And that's all this has been really from the very beginning. You know, anyone could have stepped in at any time to do something about all this shit, and nobody wanted to do it. You know, go public, talk about it, you know, tell the fucking truth, and nobody wants to do that, and everyone's just living in this like fucking, I'll call it a twilight zone. It's a fucking twilight zone of bullshit, the endless twilight zone of bullshit, where you just can make yourselves feel better, you know, for as long as you can do that with spending more money and fucking more people and, you know, doing more bullshit and blaming me some more, and it's like whatever, you know. So I feel like, yeah, I can still get, I feel like I can still get angry about the double standard, which is clearer to me. The double standard is clearer to me all the time. And I was just, I feel like, and I would imagine I'll still have these moments, you know, of being like, control this or control that, or just be like, sit here like, oh, you gotta be kidding me, her again, I have to deal with her again. But apparently I could have been thinking like, oh, I have to deal with her again 2 months ago when she put out this bullshit ad with Prada. You know, is anyone going to fucking stop perpetrating crime and promoting crime? Is that going to stop at some point? It is just so, it's like, it is so fucking detestable. I can't come up with new words to describe how fucked up all of this is. I'm just going to have to keep using the words I've already been using until somehow perhaps there's some sort of like dawning realization, like, oh my god, like this was wrong. Like, when the fuck is that going to be? When everybody finds out? If everybody ever finds out, you know? And when the fuck is that going to happen? When the media decides to tell the truth, when the fuck is that going to be? So I kind of don't really know. I just feel like I just was just like, I wanted to raise my objections, you know, for all the reasons I've already given, but I do not want to be running around feeling like that horrible feeling like I'm trying to control other people's lives, especially considering the extent to which people just casually invade my life. It's not like anybody's worrying about whether or not they're controlling my life. It's all anybody ever tries to do is control my life, control where I go, control what I say, you know, punish me for this, punish me for that. Get the fuck out of here. You know, get the fuck out of here. It's just, it's just really, it couldn't be more despicable. It's been so goddamn despicable from the very first day. You know, and nobody can say that I have not, you know, given the benefit of a doubt, that I have not forgiven. But all I do is get fucking walked all over for that too. So, you know, I feel like I can't make anybody do anything, right? And it's just like, and there's nothing I suppose that's always a source of amusement for people too. People really enjoy having power over someone who just fucking sits there and fumes and can't do a fucking thing about any of it. But I hope I'm not that kind of person. You know? I really fucking hope I'm not that kind of person.